Almighty, 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 Creator, His blood inside me, inside me, inside me. We know that it works, Almighty, 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 Creator, His blood inside me, inside me, inside me. We know that it works, Who should we fear? We got omnipotent, Almighty Father, the Father of Abraham, the Father of Isaac and Jacob, the Almighty Yahweh will we play with. He sent His Son for the nation, the covenant back in our faces. Y'all, He with us, don't care what we face. Where else we gon' go? We gon' trust in His word. Stay on that narrow, don't trust in no turns. Eyes to the east, everybody gon' learn. Put where your sins are, they all about to burn. Pass overcoming, got their blood on me. Unforgiveness had to go, I got the love on me. All the leaf, I got the peace, I got the dove on me. See the kingdom of y'all, I got a bug on me. Almighty, 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 Creator, His blood inside me, inside me, inside me. We know that He works, Who scattered for many years, now we back. Mind been renewed from this world, we detached. The judgment is coming by His will, that's a slap. The wilderness is coming by His hand, that's a fact. The ark of the covenant, I was willing, that's a spot. Where He gon' get us? It was prophesied in the land you was sold by His blood, you gon' rise, you gon' rise. Babylon falling, it all gon' go wrong. Keep them commandments, we trying to go home. Before you serve me, go serve Him on that throne. Walk as He walk, I'ma walk, I'm a clone. Where He gon' get us? Keep commandments, He gon' fight for. How much shit I hit a light for? Rain more, blow the rain on. Almighty, 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 Creator, His blood inside me, inside me, inside me. We know that He works, Almighty, 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 Creator, His blood inside me, inside me, inside me. We know that He works, Almighty, 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 Creator, His blood inside me, inside me, inside me. We know that He works, Almighty, Almighty, Almighty. Good afternoon, Facebook Live, good afternoon, YouTube with Breaking Strongholds Ministries. Shabbat Shalom, everybody, Shabbat Shalom. How's everybody doing this morning? How's everybody doing this morning? Or this afternoon? I hope the Most High have really truly blessed you over and abundantly with love, kindness, and joy. I hope the Most High have really truly blessed you over and abundantly with happiness and peace and protection.
I hope that the Most High really truly have blessed you over and abundantly with everything your heart desires. I hope you have protected and given wisdom and knowledge to your offsprings. I hope you truly have. I hope you really truly have blessed them over and abundantly. My week has been an okay week. I can't complain too much. I won't complain. You know, I won't complain. But I know this week is still being eventful. I know that we had an eclipse this week, and during the eclipse, Iran continued to bomb Israel, or the state of Israel. So, I know those things are happening. When we were sidetracked with watching what was going on with the ports and things of that nature, even I was, I was a little concerned about the ports, because I understand the impact of it because I'm in the transportation industry. Iran and Israel is really starting to pick up. Iran and Israel is really starting to pick up. And when they came out and said that the United States sent 700 Tennessee reservists or National Guards over to the Middle East, it was basically letting us know that there's a war getting ready to brew in the Middle East. Just a matter of days and hours. I wanted to say this. I purchased this book this week, right? The Chicago World's Fair of 1893. The Chicago's World Fair of 1893, right? And then what got me was slavery supposed to end in 1865, right? Slavery ended in 1865. So, if slavery ended in 1865, how are all these buildings and the way they was built and how they stand existed in Chicago in 1893? How did all that happen in Chicago during the time of 1893? Because this was actually what was this is how it was built, looking in Chicago in 1893, right? But how could these statues and these pictures and how Chicago should look, even the front page, how could it look like this in Chicago in 1863 when we just got out of slavery in 1865? That was a very eye-opening experience for me, because I'm saying to myself, this is Chicago, but the image and the depictions that we got from Chicago, as if, the United States was undeveloped. Like, when you look at these pictures here, I'm getting ready to show you. These pictures here was built in 1865 and all of these, right? How was this built? How was this done in the 1800s when they said that they enslaved us? And we were just getting out of slavery in 1865. And then this one here, this is a picture of Chicago long time in the 1800s. So now I'm asking myself, how is it that these monuments and structures was built in 1865 when they said that civilization really just got started in the 1900s? I don't understand that. Have we been lied to all our life? Was United States or Turtle Island, did it look like they say it looked undeveloped land? When when they had said they developed, it's just like this book right here, right? The 5 Negro presidents before George Washington ever existed, right? But there was 8 presidents before George Washington ever existed. The 5 Negro presidents. These are some of the presidents. Even Abraham Lincoln was considered to be a president. That's why they put him on the carpet penny. He was considered to be an albino because his mother was black and his father was white. Okay? So it just made me wonder this week, you know, when you start to look at things and stuff like that. But let us go ahead and get started. Let us turn to the book of Exodus. Chapter 20, verses 1 through 17. And it reads, And Ananias spake all these words, saying, I am Yahuwah thy Ananias, which brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. And thou shalt have no other Ananias before me, and thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image or any likeness of anything that is in the heavens above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them, for I, Yahuwah the Ananias, am a jealous Ananias, visiting the iniquities of the fathers upon the children unto the 3rd and 4th generation of them that hate me, and showing mercy unto thousands of them that love me and keep my commandments. Thou shalt not take the name of Yahuwah thy Ananias in vain, for Yahuwah will not hold him guiltless that taketh his name in vain. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. 6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy works, but the 7th day is the Sabbath of Yahuwah thy Ananias. In it thou shalt not do any works, thou nor thy sons, nor thy daughters, thy manservants, nor thy maidservants, nor thy cattle, nor thy strangers that is within thy gates. For in 6 days Yahuwah made the heaven and earth, the sea, and all that in them is, and rested the 7th day. Wherefore, if Yahuwah bless the Sabbath day and hallowed it, honor thy fathers and thy mothers, that thy day be long upon the land which Yahuwah thy Ananias giveth thee. Thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not commit adultery, thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbors, and thou shalt not cover thy neighbor's house, thou shalt not cover thy neighbor's wife, nor his manservant, nor his manservant, nor his maidservant, nor his ox, nor his ass, nor anything that is thy neighbor's. Let us pray. It's O creators of the heavens and earth, of all radiance and vibrations, soften the grounds of our beings and carve out a space with us where your presence can abide. Fill us with your creativity so that we may be empowered to bear fruits of our missions. Let each of our actions bear fruit in accordance with our desires within your purpose for our life. Bestow us with the wisdom and produce, and share what each being needs to grow and flourish. Untie the tangled thread of destiny that binds us as we release others from the entanglement of the past mistakes. Do not let us be seduced by that which distracts us from our true purpose, but illuminate the opportunities of present moments, for you are the ground and the fruitful vision, the creator of power and fulfillment. as all is gathered and made whole once again. So let it be. Okay. Happy Sabbath day, happy Sabbath day. This is the day that the Most High have made, so let us be glad and rejoice in it. I'm just drinking some hibiscus tea with some lemon and honey. Okay, if you could turn to the book of Luke. Turn to the book of Luke chapter 12. The book of Luke chapter 12, verses 35 through 48. And the key verse is verse 41. Key verse is verse 40. Key verse is verse 40. Okay, and it reads, Be ye therefore ready also, for the Son of Man cometh at an hour when ye think not. Be ye therefore ready also, for the Son of Man cometh at an hour when ye think not. If I may get a title of the text this morning, the title of the text this morning is Prepare Yourself for the Coming of Christ, or the Messiah. Prepare yourself for the coming of the Messiah. If I may give two words today, the word prepare is a 15th century word which I have given before. It means to set in order a readiness for a particular end. Set in order a readiness for a particular end. To make ready beforehand. Okay? In a general sense, it means to fit, adapt, or qualify for a particular purpose. In use, service, or state by any means whatever. I like this part here. It says in general sense, to fit, adapt, or qualify for a particular purpose or end or service or use. I like that. That's what that means. That what prepare means. You need to be qualified for a particular purpose or an end. That's what prepare means. Okay. Then it means the word come. And come is a 12th century word. And both of these are verbs. Verbs are action words, right? Okay, and it says the word come means to move with purpose of reaching. The word come means to move with purpose of reaching, or as to reach some point, to arrive by movement or progression. The word come means to move into view, move into appearance, to come perceptionable, come to one's self. But I like this one. It says come means to move with the purpose of reaching. Reaching a destination, reaching a point, or reaching a purpose. Okay? So, when we're looking at the book of Luke in chapter 12, it is talking about Yeshua, the Hamashiach, talking to a particular group of people. He's talking to a particular group of people. And it tells you that in Luke chapter 12, verse 1, it says, In the meantime, when there was gathered together an innumerable multitude of people, insomuch that they trodden one upon another, he began to say to his disciples, First of all, beware ye of the leaven of the Pharisees, which is hypocrites. So Yeshua the Hamashiach was addressing his disciples. He was talking to them about, he wanted them to be aware of people, be aware of everything that was going on around them. He wanted them to be able to be conscious. Let's see what the word beware means. Okay. Beware means to literally to restrain or guard oneself from hence. From. It means to regard with caution, to restrain oneself from anything that may be dangerous, injurious, or improper, to avoid or take care, followed by of before the things that is to be avoided. It basically means is that you need to be on guard. Yahshua HaMashiach was telling his disciples, hey man, you need to be on guard at all times for the things that are getting ready to come. And when he's talking to his disciples, he was talking to his servants about these things that was taking place. And he was using a lot of parables in chapter 12. And he wanted them to be aware of the things that was going on. But he also knew the mentality of his disciples. He also knew their thought process. He knew where they was mentally or spiritually when it came down to their understanding of who he was. And why I say that, let us go to Luke chapter 20, verse 28. Because he was talking to them, but he also knew them. He knew their character. He knew their belief system. He knew where they were spiritually. Because he said this in chapter 12, verse 28. It says, if then Ananias so clothe the grass, which is the day in the field, and tomorrow is cast into the oven, how much more will he clothe you, O ye of little faith? Because a lot of the times our mentality is, we have a very scary or doubtful mentality of how Ananias is. That's why he was using these parables, is because he was trying to reassure the people that Ananias will take care of you if you are following his laws, statutes, and commandments. Ananias will do for you, because he was using these parables to reassure the people, hey, I'm going to do this. Ananias, if he can do it for the lilies in the valley, he can do it for all these other things, he can do it for the birds, why can't he do it for you? And that's what he was trying to reassure them, because he understood their mentality. He understood their thought process. He understood where they was mentally. So he was basically trying to reassure them that, hey, it's going to be okay, but you just got to follow me and have belief in me. That's what you got to do. And once you do that, everything else will work out just fine. But the hard part of us in this day and time is to really truly believe in the Most High. Let me see if I can find something right there. Because I want us to understand, he said this. I just read a little bit. And he said unto his disciples, because that's who he's talking to, his disciples. Therefore I say unto you, take of no thought for your life, what ye shall eat, neither for the body what ye shall put on. For the life is more than meat, and the body is more than raiment. Consider the ravens, for they neither sow nor reap, which neither have storehouses nor barns. Ananias feedeth them. How much more are ye better than the fowls? So the Most High, Yeshua was trying to reassure the people, hey, I'm going to take care of you. You just got to believe in me that I'm going to take care of you. Because that is the hard part right now for us as people, is to be able to relinquish what we think is power and give it over to Yahuwah. A lot of us are afraid to say, Lord, let thy will be done. A lot of us are afraid to do that because we feel like we can do it better than he can do it. We feel like we can control our lives and we can do more for our lives than what he can do for us, even though he created us in his image. We can do better. But he's trying to say to us, if you just listen to the spirit of the Ruach HaKodesh and follow my guidance, you would be just fine. I'm not saying that you're not going to go through any challenges. I'm not saying that you're not going to go through no ups and downs. I'm not saying you're not going to have any tests. But those tests are there to bring you to greater faith. And the more your faith increase, the more blessings that you can have. But the smaller your faith is, the less blessings of Barak that you can have. So he was trying to let them know that by saying that, consider the ravens, for they neither sow nor reap, which neither have storehouses nor barns. And God, Ananiah feedeth them. How much more are ye better than the fowls? Okay, so he's just letting you know who we are in his sight. So we have to have belief in him. Our faith system has to be increased. Okay? So that's what this is basically talking about. Us being ready for the Messiah and believing in his word. Okay? So let us go ahead and get started in Luke chapter 12, verse 35. It says, let your loins be girded about, and your lights burning. Your lights burning. Right now, we should, because of all the things that we see that's going on in the world today, everything that we see that's happening in today, that means that we should be expecting Christ or the Messiah to be doing some major moves on the earth at this point in time. But let us go back to Matthew chapter 10, verse 34. And I don't read this one before. I want you to understand this. Matthew chapter 10, verse 34. And I want you to understand this. Because our thought process of how Christ is, or the Messiah is, may not be the way he's going to do things. In Matthew chapter 10, verse 34, he says, think not that I'm come to send peace on earth. I am not come to send peace, but a sword. So the Messiah is saying he ain't coming to bring peace. So if you're thinking that you're seeing peace, that's why he said when people say peace, peace there and then, but then there's calamities. He didn't come to bring peace right now. He come to bring division and strife and chaos and commotion and judgment. So when we're thinking that when the Messiah comes, it's supposed to be peaceful, no. When the Messiah comes, we're supposed to see increase of chaos on the earth. The more chaos we see, the more closer we are to seeing the Messiah. But that's something that we got to get into our mindset so that we can accept the word much better. But as long as we continue to think that Christ is coming and he's going to bring peace, the farther we are from his word and the farther we are from him. And we don't understand. But the more we see chaos, the more we see Christ is on his way back. Okay? So now let us go back to Luke chapter 12, verse 35. Because our expectations, now because of everything that we see on the earth, we should be expecting or have an expectation of something. So when we're starting to just having expectations of something, that means that we should be now more than ever trying to prepare ourselves for his coming. If we see that it is increased chaos on the earth, that means that he said, I didn't come to bring peace but a sword, right? So if he said, I come to bring peace, I come to bring a sword and not peace, and the more chaos we see on the earth, that means that the more closer we are getting to his judgment. So that means that we are expecting him to come. So that means that we as a people, his people, that means that we should be trying to do something for ourselves to make sure that we are ready for his judgment. Because of our expectations, it's just like a friend, you and a friend get ready to go out to the club, right? And they're coming to pick you up. And your friend call you on the phone and say, hey, I'll be there in 10 minutes. Your expectations is that they're on their way. So what are you doing to be ready for when they come? You're getting yourself ready. You're putting your last eyeliner on. You're in the mirror looking at your hair. You're making sure you got your shoes ready to go. You're making sure your purse. You're making sure you got your phone. And most women forget their phone chargers, but you're making sure you got a phone charger. So you getting yourself ready so when your girlfriend come to pick you up and she blow the horn or she call you and say, I'm here, the only thing you have to do is just walk out the door. That's what that means. Because of your expectations, you are preparing yourself to go. And see, that's what we have to do in this day and time. Because we see all the calamities on the earth, we're expecting Christ or the Messiah. So that means that we got to be doing something during this moment of expectation. We can't just be sitting around waiting on the Lord. Prepare is a action word, meaning we got to be doing something. That means that we got to be studying. That means that we got to be treating people the way we want to be treated. That means we got to love the Messiah with all our heart, soul, and mind. That means that we got to be able to get ourselves physically ready for the wilderness. We got to be doing something to get so that we're getting ready to go because we are expecting something to happen. So let us go ahead and go to Proverbs. Proverbs chapter 31, because I want us to understand something. Gird your loins is your hips. It means that put on your belt. Put on your belt. When you put people putting on their belt, that means that they're getting themselves together. Gird up your loins. You're putting yourself together. You're getting yourself together so that you can get ready to go. It's Proverbs 31 and 7. And 17, I'm sorry. Okay, Exodus 31 and 17, it says, okay, let's look at it and go verse 16. First, it says, consider a field and buy it. With the fruits of her hands she planteth a vineyard. She girded her loins with strength and strengthened her arms. She perceived that her merchandise is good. Her countenance goeth out by night. She layeth her hands to the spittle, and her hands hold the staff. Okay, so what it's saying is when you gird your loins, you mean you're strengthening yourself up right now for the moment that you see this going on. Everything that you see that's going on right now, you're starting to strengthen yourself with the word. You're starting to strengthen yourself with exercise. You're starting to strengthen your belief system more in the Mashiach or the Messiah. So that with all these calamities that you see going on right now, you're getting ready. You know that something is going on. With all these calamities that's going on, that means that you're getting ready to you're strengthening yourself for what's to come. Strengthen means to have a stronghold. Means to increase something. Let us see what strengthen means. Cause I don't like to give words, definitions of words that strengthen means to make strong or stronger. Okay, it means simply is to strengthen, prevail. It means to prevail or impart strength. You're making yourself strong in faith during this time right now, because everything that we see, our belief system should be much stronger now than it did a long time ago. Okay, let us go to Philippians 2 and 5. 2 and 15. Let us go to Philippians 2 and 15, because our expectations, because of our expectations of the Messiah, that means that our strength, we should be more stronger in the word now more than everything, because everything is reassuring us that the word is true. It says in Philippians 2, 14 and 15, it says, do all things without murmuring and disputing, that ye may be blameless and harmless, the son of Anani without rebuke, in the midst of a crooked and perverse nation, among whom ye shine as light in the world, holding forth the word of life, that I may rejoice in the days of Christ, that I have not run in vain, neither labor in vain. That's what it's telling us right now. In this moment, we should be looked at as being blameless and harmless, because we see what's actually going on in the world. That means that our actions should be so much better than what they used to be, because of what is actually taking place in the world. That means that we should continue to be in lawlessness, even though we just saw these things that took place, that's taking place on the earth. That don't mean that we should continue to be in lawlessness. No, what we seeing on the earth, if we saw a sword coming, that means that, okay, I need to start getting my act together. It's just like my daughter brought my grandson over here this morning, and she called me 5 minutes before she was getting here, or she texted me 5 minutes before she get here and say, hey, I'm here. What you finna say?
10 seconds.
Okay, 10 seconds before she got here, and said, I'm here. So when she texted me and said, I'm here, what did I do? I went downstairs and opened up the door for her, because I was waiting on her to come. So when you're waiting on Messiah, when he said, I'm here, the only thing you do is ready to go out the window, because you know you already been waiting on him to come. So you was expecting for him to come. So you already cleaned your act up and you was ready to go when he said, come on. And that's the way it has to be. You have to have yourself so self together. Your faith, your strength, your belief system got to be so strong right now that when he said, I'm here, you say, let's go. I'm ready to go. But if your faith or your belief system is not so strong, you're not going to be ready for his coming, because you're not going to be expecting it to happen. So if you're not expecting it to happen, you won't prepare for it. I remember I went over one of my friend's house one time. I was in Dallas, right? I went over my friend's house to visit him unexpectedly. And he didn't even know I was coming. I just did a pop-up. His house was nasty. His house was clean. He didn't even expect for me to come over. So he wasn't clean. He didn't clean up his house, or he didn't do nothing for me. So that's just the same as you expecting Christ to come. When you expecting Christ to come, you're going to make sure you're ready to go. But when you're not expecting for Christ to come, you're gonna be all jacked up. Okay, so let us go to 1 Peter. Let us go to 1 Peter 1:13. Let us go to 1 Peter 1:13. Let us go to verse 12 too first. It says, unto whom it was revealed that not unto themselves, but to us they did minister the things which are now reported unto you by them. They have preached the gospel unto you with the Holy Ghost sent down from heaven, which things the angels desire to look into. It says, wherefore gird up the loins of your minds, be sober, and hope to the end for the grace that is to be brought unto you at the revelation of Yahshua the HaMashiach. As obedient children, not fastening yourself according to the former lust in your ignorance, but as he which has called you is holy, so ye be holy in all manner of conversation. So right now, what it's saying is, our idea, our mindset, everything about us should be holy, be pure. Means to be right. Because we are expecting Christ to come back real soon because of everything that we see. Everything that we see, because of our expectations, we're getting ourselves together. We're making sure we're reading more. We're making sure we do this. We're making sure we do this. Because we understand that we're in the end times. We understand that everything is about to come into fruition. So, because of our expectations, we're starting to strengthen ourselves. We're starting to make sure that we're starting to strengthen ourselves in our belief system. We're starting to make sure that we start to behave correctly. And we also making sure that we watch what we say out of our mouths. Because those things are important right now. Everything that we say and do and believe is very important because of our expectations. Okay, let's go back to Luke chapter 12. Luke chapter 12 verse 36. Huh? Luke chapter 12 verse 36. Then it says, and ye yourself like unto men that waited for their masters, when he will return from the wedding, that when he cometh and knock, they will make open unto him immediately. See, that's what I was just saying to you. When my wife said that, oh, she called 10 seconds before she got here. Or she texted 10 seconds before she got here. But as soon as she texted, I ran down to the door to open up the door. Because I was expecting for her to come. So as soon as she texted, I was at the door waiting on her. That's what that verse is saying. And ye yourself like unto men that wait for their masters, when he will return from the wedding, that when he cometh and knocketh, they may open unto him immediately. Because they was already expecting for him to come, so it wasn't no surprise that he came when he came, because they was expecting him to come. So when they were expecting him to come, they were waiting at the door. And when he knocked, they opened up the door. And it says, blessed are those servants whom the master, when he cometh, shall find watching. Verily I say unto you, that he shall gird himself and make them to sit down to meat, and will come forth and serve them. So the Most High, when you realize that you've been doing what you're supposed to do, you know in your expectations that you're waiting on him, so you're getting yourself together through your belief system, through your behaviors, and through your conversations. when he comes, he's not gonna be surprised. He's gonna call you blessed. Because you have been anticipating him to come. So when you anticipating him to come, you was getting your life together. You was getting all this nasty stuff out of you, so that when he came, he can call you blameless and harmless. Because you say, okay, I see the signs in the sky now. I don't play it enough. I don't did a lot of this crazy stuff now. I need to get my life together. Because I see these things come, I need to repent and have repentance. I need to get my life together. Verse 38. Then it says, and he shall come in the second watch, or come in the third watch, and find them so. Blessed are those servants. Okay? So it's telling you, whenever you get your life together, you waiting on the Most High, and he comes, he's gonna find you blessed, because you already was anticipating on him to come, so you got yourself together. 39. And this know, that if the good man of the house had known what hour the thief will come, he would have watched and not suffer his house to be broken down. See, and that's the thing. Nobody know when a thief is gonna come. But a man knows the people's houses get broken in all the time. And see, my wife is on that neighborhood watch. And my wife is on the neighborhood watch, so she's always looking at what other people are doing or what's going on in other people's neighborhoods. So she always telling me, don't leave nothing in the car, because they're going to come in and break it up. They're going to do this and they're going to do that. She got the Ring camera. Every time a car go by, she's up watching and seeing what's in front of our house. Because she's on guard for something physical to happen in our house, to our house. That's what she's doing. Because she's physically aware of what's going on with the physical things. The Most High is saying we also need to be aware of the spiritual things that's going on in the world. We can't just be physically aware. You got to also be spiritually aware. Because she woke up in the morning saying, baby, I don't want to go to hell. Baby, I don't want to go to hell, baby. I don't want to go to hell. Because she's seeing things coming on the earth. And she's trying to do what she thinks she has to do to get herself together. Yes, it may be some adjustments. But is the adjustments worth it? Is the adjustments worth you saving your soul and the Messiah protecting you through tribulations? Because that's what it's all about. Messiah is going to protect you through the tribulation period if you are considered to be his servant. I want you to understand that. If you're not considered one of his servants, he's not going to protect you during the tribulation. Okay? So let us go to verse 40. Because of our expectations of him coming, listen to this. That's the second thing I want us to understand. We got to have an expectation. And once we see the expectations, we need to change our speech. We need to change our thought process. We need to change our behavior. But we need to strengthen our belief system in him. And how we strengthen it is by reading his word, studying day and night. Hold on. It says this in Joshua 1 and 8. It says, this is in the NIV. Keep this book of the law always on your lips. meditate on it day and night, so that you may be careful to do everything written in it. Then you will be prosperous and successful. See, once we keep the word in our mind, we study it and meditate on it day and night, it will begin to make us do certain things. And once we start to do the righteous things, it will give us, we will be prosperous and we will be successful in everything that we do. So, once we expect the comings, his coming, this is the first 3 words, the first 4 words in verse 40. Once we have an expectation of his comings, ye therefore ready also. Be ye therefore ready also. Ready. What the word ready mean? Ready means, the primary sense is to move, to go, or advance forward. It seems to be clear that ready, rise, read, riddle, or all one family. Ready means to be quick, prompt, not hesitating, quick to receive or to comprehend. Means to be there, be ready, equipped. Means quick to move. Like a lot of the times when me and my wife going to the store, as soon as I pull up, I'm ready to get out. But my wife, she got to fumble through her purse. She got to look for this and look for that and close this and close that. So that's telling me that she wasn't ready to get out the car when we got to the store. But as soon as I pulled up to the store, I was ready to get out because I understand what I needed to do. So I was quick to move. So it says, be ye therefore ready also. We have a responsibilities in this situation. As we expecting Christ to come or the Messiah to come, our responsibilities is to be ready. Physically, with our speech, with our spiritual belief system, and with our physicalness. We have a responsibility to do something. We can't continue to say, I'm going to wait on the Lord. We can't have that. We can't have that. We can't push the responsibilities off on Christ. We got to take some of that. Because he says, be ye therefore ready also, for the Son of Man cometh at an hour when ye think not. So that our physical and spiritual life always has to be on point, because we don't know. We have responsibilities to do. We got a responsibilities. Listen to this one. I go to this verse all the time because I understand that we have responsibilities. Listen to this, 2 Chronicles verse 7-14. It says, if my people who are called by my name shall humble themselves, pray and seek my face, and turn from their wicked ways. See, we have responsibilities in where we're going to go, how we're going to be protected. We first got to be humble. We got to pray. We got to seek. And then we got to turn. Once we do those things, listen to that. If my people which are called by my name shall humble themselves, pray and seek my face, and turn from their wicked way, then, he said, then will I hear from heaven. See, the responsibility relies on us on whether we get the reward or not. The responsibilities don't rely on him. Everything relies on us on how we get things done. And that's why he said in Luke chapter 12 verse 40. be ye also ready. Be ye therefore ready also. We got to have that responsibilities. Let us go to Romans chapter 11. Romans chapter 13. Chapter 13. Verse 11. 10 and 11. Okay? Because we are expecting him to come. Our responsibility. We got responsibility. It says in Romans chapter 13 verse 10 and 11, it says, love worketh no ill to his neighbor. Therefore love is the fulfilling of the law. That knowing the time, that now it is high time to awaken out of sleep, for now is our salvation or protection nearer than we will believe. The night is far spent, the day is at hand. Let us therefore cast off the works of darkness, and let us put on the armor of light. And see, that's what we got to realize. We got to understand what time of day are we in. And when we realize what time of day we are in, that means that we need to start changing our behavior. Because our protection, our safeness is depending on our behavior. I can do all the training I want to. I can do all these things. I can have all this stuff. But I want you to remember that. I can do all the training and I have all the protection. I have all that stuff. But if I'm not a righteous person, I still won't be protected at the end. My behavior got to help me be protected. Let us go to 1 Thessalonians chapter 5 verse 6. Listen to what the teaching is about. It's about a comparison between the wicked and the righteous. Okay, it says in verse 5, 1 Thessalonians 5 and 5, it says, ye are all the children of light and the children of the day. We are not of the night nor of darkness. Therefore let us not sleep as do others, but let us watch and be sober. So we have a responsibility. We have a responsibility to do the right thing. This is my grandson. He's over here playing with me. So we have a responsibility. We have responsibilities is to be sober, and to be awakened at the time. We can't be procrastinating, thinking that we got all this time in the world, because we don't. Okay? Let's go to Revelations 19. Revelation 19, 6 and 7. (19, 6 and 7). It says, and I heard as it were the voice of a great multitude, and as the voice of many waters, and as the voice of mighty thundering, saying, Alleluia. For Yahuwah Adonai omnipotent reign. Let us be glad and rejoice, and give honor to him. For the marriage of the Lamb is come, and his wife had made herself ready. That's just like getting ready for a marriage. The man is always down there waiting on the woman to come. The man is always waiting on the woman to come. And see, the Most High is waiting on us to get ourselves together so that when he comes, we'll be ready. That's what it is. That's what it is. That's what it is. So, it's okay. It's okay. That's what it is. That is exactly what it is. This little joker don't know what he want to do. Get on out of here. But I'm just saying to you, this is our responsibilities, that we be ready. That we be ready. Okay? Let us go back to Luke. Let us go back to Luke verse 41. Because of our expectations of Christ coming, we have a responsibility as his servants, as his people. The Hebrew Israelites, the Gentiles who are attaching themselves to the Israelites, all of us have a responsibility. Is to get ourselves together and get ourselves ready for his coming. Because we see the calamities in the earth. We see everything that's going on. We see all this stuff. And see that that strike that was at the ports this weekend, it was symbolic. It lasted 3 days. That was very symbolic and spiritual. It lasted 3 days. That's all it lasted, was 3 days. But it was symbolisms in that. Understand that. Okay. So then it says in Luke chapter 12 verse 41, Then Peter said unto him, Master, speakest thou this parable unto us, or even to all? And Yahuwah said, Who then is that faithful and wise steward, whom his Lord shall make rule over his household, to give them their portion of meat in due season? Listen to this. When we go back to verse 28, right? It reads this. If then Ananias so clothe the grass, which is today in the field, and tomorrow is cast into an oven, how much more will he clothe you, O ye of little faith? Now, he's talking about the faith part in 28. But then he says in verse 42, and Yahuwah said, Who then is that faithful and wise steward? See, the more faith that you have in the Messiah, the more you're willing to do what he asks you to do. But the less faith that you have in the Messiah, the less you're willing to do. Because your faith is basically what you believe in. And whatever, if you believe that Christ is coming back, you're going to be doing more of what he said. But if you don't believe in what he say, you ain't going to be doing nothing. Okay? It says, Who then is that faithful and wise steward, whom his master has made ruler over his household, and to give them their portion of meat in due season? Listen to that. To give them their portion of meat in due season. Let me read you something. It says, that ain't what I'm looking for though. Okay. Let us go to Galatians 6 and 7. Okay, to give them their portion of meat in due season. Galatians 6 and 7. Let him that is taught in the word communicate unto him that teaches in all good things. But be not deceived, Ananias not mocked. For whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. See, your faith helps you reap good or bad things. Because it will cause you to do good or bad things. It will cause you to prepare. It will cause you to do things and receive whatever you're supposed to receive. Everything that you do, it has a reaction to it. And whatever the reaction is, that's what you're supposed to get, because that's what you put into it. That's why it says to give them their portion of meat in due season. Blessed is that servant who his master, when he cometh, shall find so doing. He said, you're blessed if the Most High, when the Most High come back, he see you being blameless, being harmless, communicating properly. Your faith is strengthened. You're exercising. You're getting yourself together physically for him. You are a blessed person. But you're not blessed if he come back and he see you out in the street still partying, drinking, having a good time, just doing whatever you want to do, and not taking care of the word the way the Most High wants you to. You're not blessed, but those who are blessed, they're considered blameless, harmless, they're communicating right, they're trying to follow the law, statutes, and commandments. Okay? Then it says, I'm going to look back at verse 43, it says, blessed is that servant whom his master, when he cometh, shall find so doing. Of a truth I say unto you, that he will make him ruler over all that he has. Listen to that. And see, a lot of the times we are jealous because somebody else may have something and you don't. We don't. But we got to look at, what am I doing compared to what that person is doing? That's what we got to think about. What am I doing in my life to make me not be blessed? And what is that other person doing to make them to become blessed? But we also got to look at what is being blessed. So we got to do a lot of thinking in this situation. Are we not blessed because of our behavior? Or are those people selling their souls out to the devil? Or whatever the case may be. We got to do some self-analyzation and take responsibility for our action, because it says in verse 44, of a truth I say unto you, that he will make him ruler over all that he has. Who is this person? The blessed servant. How is he blessed? Because of what he do, and because he's preparing himself for the coming of the Messiah. Verse 45. But if that servant say in his mind, my master delayeth his coming, and shall begin to beat the men servants and maidens, and to eat and drink, and to be drunken, the master of that servant will come in a day when he looketh not for him, and an hour when he cometh not aware, and will cut him in sunder, and will appoint him his portion with the unbelievers. See, let us go to Revelations chapter 20. Revelation chapter 20, verse 12. Let us go to verse 11 first. It says, I saw a great white throne and him that sat on it, from whose face the earth and the heavens fled away. And there was found no place for them. I saw the dead, small and great, stand before Ananias, and the books was open. And another book was open, which is the book of life. And the dead was judged out of those things which was written in the books, according to their works. See, we have to understand that we're going to be judged according to what we do on earth. Everything that we do on earth, the Most High is not just going to look at what we do. He's going to look at the intentions of why we did what we did. He's going to look at the intentions of it, because did you feed people because you want to be notarized? Or did you feed people because you love them? Did you give to people because you wanted to get the boast and say, y'all gave him that? Or did you give because you saw that person was really in need? He's going to be judging your mindset on why you did what you did, as well as what you did. Because see, in Matthew chapter 7, let us go to Matthew chapter 7. Let me deal with this, and then we're going to go to Matthew chapter 7, verse 22. See, it says, I saw the dead, small and great, stand before Ananias, and the books were opened, and another book was opened, which is the book of life. And the dead was judged out of those things which was written in the books, according to their works. And the sea gave up the dead which was in it, and the death and hell delivered up the dead which was in them. And they was all judged according to their works. Understand something. Everything that we do, we're going to be accountable for. Everything that we do, we're going to be accountable for. Then it said that death and hell were cast into the lake of fire. This is the second death. So let us go to Matthew chapter 7, because I want us to understand something. Right here, Matthew chapter 7, verse 22. Let's go to verse 21 first, because it says, not everyone that saith unto me, Lord, Master, Master, shall enter into the kingdom of heaven, but he that doeth the will of my Father which is in heaven. Many will say to me in that day, Master, Master, have we not prophesied in thy name? And in thy name have cast out devils? And in thy name done many wonderful works? Then I will profess unto them, I never knew you. Depart from me, ye that worketh iniquities. You can also look at that as, why did those people cast out the devils? Why did the people do all those wonderful works? Did they do it because they only wanted to be self-glorified? Or did they do it because they truly loved the Messiah? And see, that's what we got to look at ourselves and ask, why am I really truly doing this work? Is it to be self-glorification, or is it to be magnifying the Most High? Because the Most High never knew these people. Why he never knew them? Because they were doing the work of the devil. It's glorifying and uplifting themselves. So that's something we got to think about. Why we do what we do. Let's go back to Luke chapter 12. Luke chapter 12. Verse 46 again. Because if we're expecting for his coming, and we take responsibilities for ourselves, we got to do some preparing. Because we got to prepare ourselves for his coming. It says, verse 46 again, it says, the master of that servant will come in a day when he looketh not for him. Listen to that. The wicked people don't prepare for the coming, because they don't believe in it. They don't believe in what's coming. They don't believe in it at all, so they ain't going to prepare themselves. Okay? It says, because this is a wicked servant, because it shows you in verse 45. But if that servant says in his mind, my master delayeth his coming, and shall begin to beat the men servant and maidens, and to eat and drink and be drunken, The master of that servant will come in a day when he looketh not for him, and at an hour when he is not aware, and will cut him in sunder, and will appoint him his portion with unbelievers. And that servant which knew his master's will, and prepared not himself. Listen to this. Listen to this. Because he's doing a comparison of three. He's doing a comparison of three. The righteous servant, the wicked servant, and the servant that just didn't prepare even though the master was coming. Listen to it again in verse 47. And that servant which knew his master's will, and prepared not himself, neither did according to his will, shall be beaten with many stripes. That means that the person who knew and the person who did not know, both of them going to get beaten, but one may just get beaten with lesser stripes, but he going to still get whooped. Let us go back to Revelation chapter 21 for a second. No, 21. 21 verse 11. Verse 11. See, let us look at this again. And I saw the dead, small and great, stand before Ananias. And the books were open, and another book was open, which is the book of life. And the dead was judged out of those things which was written in the books, and according to their works. See, all those people got whooped according to they got judged according to what they did. Everybody gonna be judged according to what they did. Because your belief system make you do what or don't do what you do. And then the sea gave up the dead which was in it, and death and hell delivered up the dead which was in them. And they were judged, every man according to their works. And death and hell were cast into the lake of fire, and this is the second death. Because you also got to realize now, in verse 13, and the sea gave up the dead which was in it. Death and hell delivered up the dead which was in them. Some people are already cast into hell. That's the first death. But then they're going to turn around and be cast into hell again, which is the second death. Everybody going to be judged according to their works. Let us go to Matthew chapter 13. Verses 41 and 42. It says, and the Son of Man shall send forth his angels, and they shall gather out his kingdom all things that sin, and them which do iniquities, and shall cast them into a furnace of fire. There shall be wailing and gnashing of teeth. Then shall the righteous shine forth as the sun in the kingdom of their Father. Who had ears to hear, and let them hear. Understand that. See, everybody think that the Most High is nice. But he going to be so nice, and he going to cast the wicked into hell. He's going to cast the wicked into hell. That's how nice and loving he is. He going to throw the wicked people in hell. Let us go to Psalms 11. Psalms 11 and 5. Let's go to 4 and 5. It says, Yahuwah is his holy temple. Yahuwah's throne is in heaven. His eyes behold, his eyelids try the children of men. Yahuwah tries the righteous, but the wicked and him that loveth violence is his soul hated. See, the Most High hate the wicked. And the wicked is those who do not prepare themselves for his coming, because they still think they got time to do whatever they got to do. Let us go to 30. Let's go to Psalms 37 and 9. Let's go to 8 and 9. Because we got to look at this thing, really. Okay? It says, cease from anger and forsake wrath. Fret not thyself in any wise to do evil. For evildoers shall be cut off. Listen to that. The word cut off means deleted. For the evildoers shall be cut off, but those that wait upon Yahuwah, they shall inherit the earth. For yet a little while, and the wicked shall not be. Listen to that. For yet a little while, the wicked shall not be. Yea, thou shalt diligently consider his place, and it shall not be. But the meek shall inherit the earth, and shall delight themselves in the abundance of peace. See, the Most High is judging. He's giving you a comparison of the good servant and the wicked servant. See, the good servant prepare themselves because they are expecting for the Messiah to come. How they prepare themselves? By watching what they do, watching what they say, and they're strengthening their belief system in the Messiah. But they also are exercising and preparing themselves for the condition. But the wicked, they don't do nothing because they don't believe. That is the reason why the wicked is condemned, because they don't believe. Okay? So let me go to something real fast. This came out September the 24th, 2024. It says, Hurricane Watch. Track Tropical Storm Helene projected path and how it could impact Tennessee. Okay, I'm not going to read everything, okay, but I'm going to read a little bit of it. It says, Tropical Storm Helen is gathering strength from southern Florida, and meteorologists believe it could become Hurricane Helen before the end of the week. The storm has not reached hurricane wind levels yet, but forecasters with the National Hurricane Center predict it will happen sooner rather than later. The system is expected to strengthen in a hurricane by Wednesday and make landfall on Thursday, according to the Hurricane Center. The Hurricane Center predicted the storm will reach winds of 115 miles an hour before making landfall, and it is a major Category 3 storm. Forecasters warn the storm could bring life-threatening storm surges, hazardous wind, and heavy rain. Parts of the Floridas are already under a tropical storm and hurricane watch. Okay, let me go to something real fast. It says in East Tennessee, this is what the predictions. It says in East Tennessee, there is an 80% chance of showers and thunderstorms are possible for Tuesday and Wednesday, with higher in the upper 70s. Chance of rains are expected into the weekend. Listen to that. Chance of rains are expected into the weekend, and with the highest chance of rain happening Thursday and Friday. The only thing that they was expecting for East Tennessee was rain. That's all they was expecting. Then it says in Middle Tennessee, chance of rain Tuesday, and with the chance of rain and possible thunderstorms into it says chance of rain on Tuesday with the chance of rain and possible thunderstorms into Wednesday, with higher in the 70s, in the higher 70s. Rain possible throughout the entire week, with the higher chance of rain and storms predicted for Thursday and Friday. So they only was predicting rain and storms on Thursday and Friday. Rain chances of rain in the western part of Tennessee are much slimmer. Listen to that. Rain chances of the western part of the state are much slimmer than in the middle and east, according to the forecast. Memphis area and West Tennessee have a 30% chance of showers and possible thunderstorms on tomorrow. And Thursday, Friday, the area could see upwards of a 60% chance of rain with possible thunderstorms. The National Hurricane Center does warn that the potential rainfall in some areas could result in local flash floodings and with possible minor to isolated moderate river flooding. Okay, so what was the initial path of Hurricane Helena or Helen? Helena or Helen? The path was for it to go through Atlanta, up towards the mountains, and then head eastward towards Nashville, Tennessee. That was the predictions of the hurricane. That was the prediction of the hurricane. So when everybody was telling Atlanta, hey, Atlanta, they was closing all the schools in Atlanta. They was doing all these things for Atlanta. They told you don't go to work on Friday in Atlanta. Everybody was shut down in Atlanta. So everybody was preparing in the local area of Atlanta. Everybody was preparing for the storm. And the outskirt counties. Everybody that was told that the storm was coming, everybody in those general areas was robbing the stores. They was getting off work. They closed the schools. They prepared themselves for the storm because they was told that the storm was coming. So they prepared themselves for the storm. But what actually happened? What actually happened? The storm didn't hit Atlanta. The storm went east. It went to Augusta, South Carolina, and the eastern seaboard of Tennessee. Even though those people knew that it was a storm coming, they said, well, the storm ain't coming my way, so I don't have to prepare myself for the storm because the storm is not coming my way. They said, I ain't got to prepare for the storm because the storm's going in Atlanta. It ain't coming to Augusta. The storm is going, it's not coming to Greenville. The storm ain't going to the seaboard or Asheville. It's not coming that way, so I ain't got to worry about it. And even if it do come, I'm just going to get a little small bit of rain. So when those peoples who did not prepare for the storm, and the people in Atlanta prepared for the storm, but when the storm deviated and went into Augusta, what happened? The people weren't ready. The people was not ready for the storm. So what happened? We see it all over the news. We see what's happening up in Asheville. People perish. Let me go to people perished. People didn't make it because they did not prepare themselves for what's to come. See, the Messiah said that right here in Matthew chapter 10, verse 34. It says, think not that I'm come to send peace on earth. I came not to send peace, but a sword. So, he said that. So when he brought that storm down to the people who was not expecting the storm, what happened? Let us go to Luke chapter 12, verse 49. And I'm concluding with this one. What happened? He said, I am come to send fire on the earth, and what will I, if it be, also kindle? See, the Most High brought fire in those areas that did not believe that he was coming. He brought fire to those people who did not really truly believe in him. So, are you going to prepare yourself for the coming of Christ? Because you expected for him to come? Because you see what's going on? Or are you still going to be that